Hi Tantric Travelers, welcome to Tantric Travelers Cookbook. Today we are going to make some intergalactic carpaccio. And I'm excited about this because it is the time of year when beautiful vegetables are being harvested from the earth. It's the first week of November here in the Northern Hemisphere. And after watching a meteor shower where I experienced seeing some incredibly large and dramatic fireballs fall into the Earth's atmosphere, I woke up one morning and this was on the kitchen counter. Some people say these guys are from Brussels, but I don't know. This looks like a giant DNA strand of emerald jewels. And I was pretty excited to see it because I do love my Brussels sprouts, and I decided I wanted to use these today as well. So we're going to use Brussels sprouts. Can you believe this thing? And we're going to use some beautiful orange carrot and sweet potato, which I've already prepared by steaming them for about half the time that they would normally take to steam to a full cooked state. That's about 10 minutes for the carrots and the sweet potatoes. The Brussels sprouts only take a couple minutes of steam just to sort of take the edge off of their crunchiness a little bit. And I steamed some red cabbage as well, just at the very, very end. I actually turned the pot off and just let these guys have a little bath in the remainder of the steam that was in the pot. So we're going to start off with the sweet potato and carrot. So you take your carrot and sweet potato. You can leave the skins on when you steam them, and they peel really easily after they've been steamed. So actually for the carrot, I think I'm going to use this fantastic carrot peeler to see how thin we can get our carpaccio strips. That's pretty good. That's a really nice texture. And the carrot has a nice gleam to it. It's not crispness, it's not crisp, but I would say it's probably al dente, which means just textured to the tooth, so that you have a little bit of something to bite into and it doesn't just dissolve in your mouth the way that we like to do pasta. So there are our carrot carpaccio strips. Very nice, very nice. They're pretty thin. They're a beautiful color. Put those aside. And I'm going to work on the sweet potato now, and for that I'm going to use a long, sharp but serrated knife because I don't have a mandolin. If you have a mandolin or some other implement that works well to cut vegetables thin, or if you're just really good with really sharp knives, I would suggest using that, but I tried this earlier and it was working pretty well. So this sweet potato still has a little bit of firmness as well. It's not going to squish up in your hand. And you just want to do that. Get the sweet potato slices going. That one is way too thick, so we'll start again. This isn't working that great right now, but I did manage to do it properly during my preparation, so you can see that you can actually do this maybe at a better angle, or as I said, with a mandolin. Lucky people. So we'll put the sweet potato aside, but I do have some slices made of that already. And we're going to move on to, the beautiful beet. And I steamed the beet as well. You steam the beets for a little bit longer than the other vegetables because they're harder. And this is the magical trick with beets that I came across when I was eating a lot of beets. And it is that you steam it with its peel still on, so you don't have to worry about peeling it and getting the super, super pink hands. And you leave a little bit of the beet tops on top, and you leave a little bit of the root at the bottom when you steam it, and it seems to allow the water to penetrate, or the steam to penetrate. And then when it's cool, it's incredible. The peel just comes off like that in your hand. And actually, nutritionally, this is much better because all of the nutrients are between the outer peel and the inner tuber of this lovely beet, which is from our friend Gary's garden, along with those magical Brussels sprouts. So we've got our beet here, I do have some beet juice on my hands. That comes off with a little lime. And I'm going to take the carrot peeler and just experiment with what I could do with this beet. How thin I can get these slices. So they're thin, and we're kind of doing it like we would do an apple peel, or peel an apple. Slippery little devils. Try and get some nice thin slices for our Carpaccio plate. There we go. Oh, that's better. I think after you get through the first layer, you're getting some better beet action. Yeah, it's messy. But who needs nail polish, right, when you have beets? There we go, beet Carpaccio. It's a lovely little red-purple ribbon of goodness. Put this guy aside. And for the red cabbage, all you have to do is take the leaf off of the cabbage, just peel it off when the cabbage is raw. And what I do with this, just because I wanted to get a nice sort of soft and chewable texture, is I remove the ribs of the cabbage so that you're just left with ribbons of the leaf and not with the woody portion of each leaf. So there's our cabbage Carpaccio. And for the dressing, we're going to use the base for the world's most beautiful salad dressing, or the most beautiful salad dressing in the world. And that is olive oil. I did use a little bit of canola oil in this as well today because that's what I had. And I've added some sea salt, some garlic, and some finely grated ginger, and some lime juice, and some lime zest. But before I sweeten it, as I did with honey last week, I'm going to pause and say, okay, well, so far this is a vegan dish, so if I sweeten it with something else, like agave syrup, or in this case, maple syrup, that would classify it as a vegan dish, and some vegans don't consume honey, so we're going to use the maple syrup today. And just add about a teaspoon's worth of maple syrup. Stir it up. The most beautiful salad dressing in the world. Another version of it. Whoa, really have purple fingers here, guys. And we're also going to add one of my favorite flavors in the world, which is chipotle. So this is a chipotle pepper that's been smoked and put into this adobo sauce, excuse me. And I'm going to cut up some of this and add it to the most beautiful salad dressing in the world. Look at all those amazing seeds in that beautiful pepper. So I'm going to chop that up pretty fine. That might be a little much for some palates, so use your own judgment on that. Chipotle is spicy, but it's not overly spicy to my taste. So